One of the first things I like to do is use a tripod. If nothing else, it actually helps to slow me down and make sure that I'm taking exactly the picture that I want to. If you are going to be shooting landscapes and scenery shots, you probably do want to pick up a tripod. On this particular camera, I've actually got the metal hand grip attached, which makes it for a very quick release when I'm working with the tripod. There are also quick release available where you screw half the tripod into your camera and the other half stays up top here. But this makes it very easy to be able to slide the camera in and line up for my shot really quickly. One of the things that I like to work with when I'm taking my shots is with subjects that are really close when I'm taking wide angle shots. This really adds a dramatic effect to my images. What I like about the 16mm lens is it actually offers a lot closer focus than many of the other lenses in the Fuji lineup. So at that point I can have my subject, my main point of focus, to be sharp and in focus, and the background blurring off to a very nice background to be able to have that very dramatic effect. One of the nice things about the Fujifilm X-Series cameras is you have film simulations. Back in the day, Fujichrome Velvia was a very popular film when shooting landscapes and outdoor shots. I'm actually going to use that same simulation inside the camera. And unlike my colleague Francis, who likes to tone down the tones a little bit, I actually like to pump up the tones. So I'm going to shoot with this shot with a little bit of, in the Velvia film simulation, increasing the shadows by 1 and increasing the highlights by 1. I've got a really nice shot lined up here with my 10 to 24mm lens. Problem being, I've got some really bright skies and fairly dark shadows down below. How do I get around that? I can actually use the in-camera HDR capabilities. Depending on the camera that you're working with, it will vary slightly, but with the X-T3, I'm actually going to take 5 shots, and they're about 2/3 of a stop in between each of the shots. When you're doing shots like this, you also want to make sure that there's no camera movement, including potentially your finger pushing the trigger button. So a couple of ways you can get around that is to use an optional cable release to remotely trigger the camera. You can also then, if you want to, you can just use your phone to remotely trigger the camera. Or what I like to do is actually use a 2-second self-timer. And to do that, you go into the Q button and you change your self-timer up to 2 seconds. And at that point, as soon as you take the shot, the camera will wait for a couple of seconds. You're not touching it before it starts taking the pictures. I've got a nice shot lined up here. One of the challenges when you're shooting images that have lake shores, you want to make sure that the horizon is nice and level. To do that, it's very easy to do because it's a matter of turning something on within your camera. If you go into the menu setting, look for screen setup, and then to display custom settings. From there you can turn the level on or off. Cameras like the X-T3 have a third way level where you actually, if you scroll down on the screen, you can actually bring up a level that in addition to having the horizons level, it also works on your pitch. With the 14mm lens, because it has such a wide depth of field, I'm actually going to use manual focus for this. To do that, I pull back on the clutch of the focus lever. I can then move my focus point to wherever I want to. And if I'm wanting to shoot at f16, for example, I can put my infinity mark at f16 on the left-hand side, and everything from on the right-hand side through to that infinity mark is going to be in proper focus. Another way to do that, in the custom settings of your screen, you actually have to turn the manual focus indicators on your screen. And then when you have that, you can actually look through the viewfinder, and you can see in the viewfinder, as soon as you have your focus point, is if you look below that with the blue area, everything in the blue area is going to be in proper focus. So I can tell everything in my shot here is going to be a nice proper focus, and let me take that shot. Nice. Well, there you have it, some of the tips and tricks that I like to use when I'm taking nature and outdoor shots with my Fujifilm X-Series cameras. Hope you enjoyed it and found out a few things about your camera. If you should have any questions or comments about this video, feel free to leave them in the comments section down below. You can always subscribe to our YouTube channel. Look for us on Twitter at Fuji Guys. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And until next time, I'm Gord of the Fuji Guys. Thanks for watching.